want to show you how to play The Last Train to Clarksville by the Monkees. If you want the letter notes for that, you go to LetterNotePlayer.com. You'll be playing it in no time. Let's start with the introduction. You've got a G octave. And when they start, they just play the rest of the chord, the guitar chord in the right hand until the last time, and then they get a little alternate there. So I'm going to go slowly. F, E, D, G, G, F, E, D. And in the right hand, you're playing a B and a G. Now, if you want to get that dee-do-dee-da, you just go F, B, G. So here's the way I'd play it. So the third time you play that, and then when you use it as an interlude, go ahead and put it in there. And then the last time, just hold it and go right into the melody. Now the melody is D, E, F, F, E, E, D, D, E, F, 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 E, E, D, D, E, F, 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 E, E, D, B, C, B, C, B, A, G, F, E, G, A, B, C, C, D, D sharp, E. And then it goes back to the melody and does the verse again. You've only got three basic chords. You got a G chord, and you got a C7 chord. So you got a G7, and you got a C7, 1, 3, 5, 7, and a D7, 1, 3, 5, 7. Now we're only going to play the 5th and the 7th of the chord, C, G and B flat, and with the G we're going to go G, D and F. And with the D chord, we're just going to play D, A, and C. So we're going to play the open 5th with the 7th on there is all we're ever going to use. So now when we accompany the verse, so we're going to go G, D, F, G, D, F, G, D, F. Then when we go down, I'm going to switch to a G and a B and a D, and then we'll get to the C, and that's where we'll get the 7th sound. C, G, B flat. Now there, when I go da 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 D, C, D, D sharp, E, all I'm going to play is C, G, C, and then we go back to the second verse. So. So there the second verse goes on. After that second verse, at the end of the second verse, there's a little bit of an interlude that's just like the introduction. So I'll play that, play the end of the second verse. You got. Then they have that little tag. And here we go. All they do is they play that little deal. So they have that little tag at the end of the second verse. And I don't know if I'm ever coming home. And what you do is go C, C, D, E, D, C, B, C, B, A, G. And all we're going to do is go G. And then we're right back into the third verse. Let me see if I can put that together for you. When you hit this D, go to a D. You can either do it two ways. You can hit the whole chord, or you can hit the bass note and then the 5th and the 7th. I like the bass note first. And then we go to right to here. And we're back to the verse. Now the third verse, that's when they're going to put this high melody in there. So you're going to play a B along with that F, and this is the way I do it, because they keep that thing as just a sustained descant voice up there that sustains. I've got this on a guitar setting, a 12-string guitar setting, so I can't keep that, it fades, so I go. And then I let it go. I don't even keep it up, but every time I hit that F, also gets a little bit of a sound of a train whistle in there, because you got that diminished seventh sound, and it's just a diminished chord on B. So you got a little bit of that sound that's kind of faintly coming in there. And you're still doing G, D, and F in the bass, G, D, and F. Now we have this little vocal interlude that's a do 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 do, and that's kind of fun. In the left hand, you're going to play G, D, G, G, D, F, G, D, G, G, D, F. Now in the right hand, you're going to play D, E, F, E, D, C, B, C, D, E, F, E, D, C, do 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 do. So you're going to go. I'm going to slow that down. Do it again. Then the third time you go D, E, F, E, F, E, D, C, D. Now I'll put the accompaniment with it. So we've got. So you just change off. Your thumb changes off back and forth with each group. I just play it as fast as you're comfortable with it. They take it about this tempo. And then they go right back into the verse. So they go right back into the verse, and then when they end that verse, the fourth verse, they and then they get into this thing where they go. I'm going to slow that down for you because they come out of that. They come out of that. I'm going to go real slowly here so you can see how it fits. So they hit. And then all they do is they play a G in the bass. There's just a G that repeats in the bass, but it's all the right hand up here. You work out your own fingering. I can finger it two ways. I can move my, but I like to have my fourth and my index finger, and then have my third and my middle finger and my little finger on those others. So you got four of each. You go B, G, B, D, B, G, D, B, G, D, B, G, D, then O, C, A, D, C, A, D, C, A, D, C, A, D, B, G. So it just goes back and forth. And I do have that all spelled out in the letter notes. So all you're playing is, and this time I'll pick it up to tempo so you can see it. And then when I end that, I end it with a D, D, G, B on in the right hand. And then we go right into the we end it with a D, G, B in the right hand when I end it, and then we go right into back into the verse, and they just do a quote of the first line and they fade. So this is what I would. So they go. The first time is, and what I would do is I'd put this chord, this D, F, B. It's that train whistle sound without the A flat in there. You can put the A flat in there if you want, but it doesn't sound as good. See? And they don't have it in there. But if you put this in there, it sounds kind of cool. And then that sets you up for their lesson. They end it by going, take the last train to Clarksville. So they play a G, G, B. They sing a G, G, B, 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 A, G. Same thing in the left hand. And that's the way I would end it. On the record, they fade it, but there's no need to fade it. So if you just end it, so the ending come out of that. Last Train to Clarksville by the Monkees. Hope you enjoy it.